Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 158, Lamar, the 12 Slays of Christmas.
We are back with Full Moon, and actually this movie, we're taking down a trip down memory lane, basically, of all the things Full Moon, their puppets, their monsters, their creatures, all this stuff, with an encapsulating story of three innocent women against an evil-lish man in a house.
And that's where I think they might have went wrong with everything here.
Do tell. Well, we're going to start off with the story.
We'll start off with the story.
Yeah.
It is what you say. Three women, they run out of gas, they get stuck, they go to a house for help, they meet this creepy old man, and he starts talking about the 12 Slays of Christmas.
Yes.
Which is actually then just jumps to a compilation of full moon feature movies. They show, what do they show? Ginger Dead Man.
I mean, my favorite, of course, Baby Oopsie.
Yeah, all the evil dolls, right?
Yeah, all the evil dolls. They have all the Puppet Master stuff. They have even the guy from Subspecies, yes.
Yeah, so it's basically a compilation.
Yes.
And that's where I think they went wrong with this story, Lamar.
Do tell, Joe.
I thought the three girls getting lost and ending up with the old man there, I thought that was interesting. And it had a fun vibe. And just having a compilation was kind of a letdown to me. I thought that there was a story there on its own with just three girls in the house, maybe interacting and doing some other stuff, fighting the guy off or whatever. I thought just making it into a compilation was a little bit of a letdown.
Would you have liked it better if they would have some way got all of like those little things into like the house and they were exploring things and stuff like that? Okay.
If like Baby Oopsie would have just popped up in the house and actually interacted with the girls, and then something from Subspecies, Ginger Dead Man, that would have been cool. But just giving me compilation videos, I was a little bummed out.
Okay, that's understandable.
I'll give it a half point because they did have a good start, but I was let down.
Half point, you know what? You have convinced me. Half point, I like my idea where it's like, you go around that. I like them opening up the book and doing that kind of stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. Some of it was good. Well, there was characters in this. Notwithstanding the compilations, we did have 4 characters in this. We had the girls and the old man. What do we think of them?
I think the girls, they acted well. I'll say this, but I did like the Ignatius character. He was creepy, he was made up, he was ghoulish and all that kind of stuff. So I like that part. I like that aspect where it's like, you don't know what he's up to, but you kind of know he's kind of evil, which leads to a twist, which we won't spoil.
We won't spoil the twist.
We won't spoil the twist.
It's a good twist.
It's a good twist, and so I liked him. I like the actor's name, the actor. Let me get his name. Tom FITZPATRICK. I think he did a very good job. So I think he was kind of like the bread and butter of the movie. The girls were great, but he was really good. So
yeah, I agree. Like he was really good. And he played the part well. He was a little over the top, like campy, but that's the way it was supposed to be. So very good. I thought the 3 girls had good chemistry together, and the characters, and we're going to talk about this in our next category, but the characters worked well together. They had so I like that. I'll give it 1 point for characters.
Agreed. 1 for characters. Yes.
So we move on. The next category is potential sequel. Would you want to see this developed into something?
Here's the thing. So, of course, we talked about it being a compilation thing, but it does have a good setup that, does a 180 and everything like that. I will say, I think that setup is pretty good because we don't want to spoil things. It's how much can we say? Because you could do this with Christmas. You could do this with Halloween, Valentine's Day. You could do this in different things.
I think you could do this with a lot with these 3. Like I said, I thought the 3 girls had a good chemistry.
Well, let's mention their name, Joe. We got to do that. We got to mention
Dare Taylor.
Dare Taylor's playing Mandy. Cody Renee Cameron as Brittany. And then Nicole Smith as Christine.
And Dare Taylor.
Yes. Why did you mention Dare Taylor twice?
Don't worry about it, Lamar. Dare Taylor's in the movie.
Maybe because she showed some things in other movies, which we appreciate. Shout out to Dare Taylor. Yes.
Yeah, she's in other full moon features that we've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, they worked well together. The
Yes.
characters, they had a good comedic thing going on there with so I think you could take these three and put this scenario in other places. Like they're off doing something and they happen upon baby Oopsie. Or they happen upon whatever, in the full moon universe.
Yes.
Or not, maybe other stuff, create something new, or keep it in the universe. So I would want to see a sequel in that scenario, but not with the compilation stuff.
Not with the compilation. You want their own thing. They're the stars. They're the show. Yes.
Yeah. So I give it 1 point for sequel potential.
Agreed. Yes.
Well, like it or not, this was a compilation, and our next category is the Full Moon Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you mentioned before we started that this actually reminded you of stuff that you forgot about. So
yes,
did this do a good job of continuing the legacy, or?
Well, what I mean by that is like I was like, oh yeah, Subspecies, which they're going to make a movie about. Then of course the Puppet Master stuff, which they're making movies about. All of this different type of puppets and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. They even had one where it was like a tiki.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. So I feel like this is kind of like maybe this is what it is, Joe. It's a kind of a going back to show where we're going. Maybe this is like, hey, we have this stuff, we're going to bring it back.
Okay. So what do you give it for legacy?
I would say this. It got me interested in other things. I'd give it a 1. Okay. Yes. And if I'll be biased, and Baby Oopsie was in it, so. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even though the compilation wasn't what I wanted, I'll still give it 1. Like, it did remind me of some of the stuff that I haven't seen in a while with the full moon and stuff, and it makes you go, oh, cool. And there is a new subspecies coming soon and everything, so just a good, trip down memory lane.
Yes.
Well, this is a quasi-Christmas movie, and this is the Christmas season, Lamar. What'd you think about the Christmas spirit of this movie?
Well, it looked Christmassy. That's for gosh darn sure. Oh, you look questionable about it. Is it not enough? I mean, look, the woman you mentioned, Dare Taylor, she was dressed up very Santa-like.
She was.
She was, but then you had, like, if you look at the set, they have a lot of gifts around. They have, like, the big feast, all that kind of stuff, campfire. Yeah. And then the story, which we can't spoil, kind of has, like, that Christmas kind of 180 thing.
Yeah.
Tapped in with some horror, and they read out of a book, too.
Yeah.
To explain everything.
So what do you give it?
Think, Joe?
Well, I'm going to give it a half point for Christmas spirit. And the reason why is because the overall scenario of the story, it could have been anything other than Christmas, They didn't do anything overtly Christmassy,
You read from a book.
Yeah.
That's it. You read,
And it's the 12 Sleighs of Christmas, and it's like, okay, but not, it didn't catch me all the way.
Joe.
Listen. I am what I am, Lamar.
Well,
what do you give it?
I will not judge. I give it a 1. It was a nice compilation added with that Christmas spirit and all that kind of good stuff. So I like the reading of the book, and then it adds like, it shows like those, things from Full Moon. So that's what I liked. Yes. Well,
Lamar, we tally the score, and this movie gets a 4.25 out of 5.
There you go. I mean, we've always reviewed Full Moon. They have a very consistent, of what they do. And I'm pretty sure this was shot in Full Moon manner. Yeah. So they know how to use the sets and shoot it and all that kind of stuff.
It was shot well. It looked good.
And who directed it? Who? Well, it was shot by William Butler.
Our friend William Butler. Yes.
Yes. Because I'm a Baby Oopsie fan, so shout out to him. Yes.
Friend of the show, was on one of our interviews a while back ago, so yeah. Well, does that wrap this up?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. 12 Sleighs of Christmas. Peace.
Deuces, and have a happy, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, days off of work, all that stuff. So, yeah.